Horner reveals why Red Bull is in trouble after sacking him. Verstappen could make a shock move to Mercedes, as Russell could jump to Aston, and Massa wants to be 2008 world champion. Let's get into the latest F1 news. Max Verstappen is at a critical juncture as he weighs his options for the upcoming F1 2026 season. The question on everyone's lips is whether he will remain with Red Bull Racing or make a surprising switch to Mercedes. Speculation reached a fever pitch when Nelson Piquet Jr., who is related to Verstappen's partner Kelly, hinted that he would be with Mercedes next season. But was it simply a slip of the tongue or a genuine revelation about Verstappen's future? Piquet Jr. recently appeared on the Pelas Pista podcast, discussing everything from the British Grand Prix to the looming changes in F1. During this chat, he made an intriguing comment, suggesting that discussions between Verstappen and Mercedes are already underway. He noted that while Silverstone was not the weekend for Mercedes, there's potential for next year, implying that Max could be in the mix. The critical moment came when host Thiago Alves reacted to Piquet Jr.'s insinuation. Piquet Jr. casually remarked that everyone is aware of these talks and that only final contract details remained unresolved. When pressed about Verstappen's participation in 2026, Piquet Jr. confirmed emphatically he will be, adding that a decision is expected by August. It certainly seems like the stage is being set for a major shift in the F1 landscape. Verstappen's potential move to Mercedes isn't entirely a new narrative. Speculation has circulated for nearly 18 months. This chatter intensified following Lewis Hamilton's announcement that he would transition to Ferrari in 2025. Although Verstappen has reaffirmed his loyalty to Red Bull, demonstrated by his recent successes, Mercedes has secured young talent Kimi Antonelli on a one-year deal, keeping their options open as well. As we look towards the F1 2026 horizon, both Verstappen and Mercedes are at pivotal crossroads. Piquet Jr.'s comments have certainly fueled the fire, but until an official announcement is made, the question remains, will Verstappen stay put, or is he on the verge of making a bold move to the Brackley team? Only time will tell, but with contract negotiations heating up, F1 fans are in for an exhilarating ride. Red Bull's dominance in Formula One is facing significant challenges after a stellar 2023 season where they clinched both championship titles. Things have taken a downturn. Max Verstappen, once invincible, is now struggling to even reach the podium, with whispers of his potential departure beginning to circulate. Despite having a long-term contract with Red Bull until 2028, Verstappen has a performance clause that allows him to leave if he ranks below 4th in the Drivers' Championship after the upcoming Hungarian Grand Prix. Currently, he sits 3rd in the standings, 46 points ahead of 5th place Charles Leclerc, with 58 points still up for grabs. It's unlikely that this performance clause will come into play. The landscape at Red Bull has shifted recently, especially with the dismissal of Christian Horner. This move seems to be part of a broader strategy to stabilize the team and refocus on Verstappen. Tensions were notably high between Horner and Jos Verstappen, Max's father, culminating in a public fallout that preceded Horner's firing. Gerhard Berger weighs in, suggesting this decision was aimed at keeping Max in prime form and happy within the team. However, there are concerns that whispers of dissatisfaction may lead Red Bull to lose their star driver. If recent comments from Piquet Jr. hint at something more than casual talk, Red Bull could be saying goodbye to their 4-time world champion sooner than expected. Amidst these swirling rumors, Verstappen has expressed his fatigue over constant speculation regarding his future. He stated, "I do not have to add much to that. The more I say about it, the more it will be reported in the media." It's clear he prefers to manage his future away from the media frenzy. Meanwhile, Fernando Alonso has chimed in, suggesting Red Bull must work harder to provide Verstappen with a car that matches his extraordinary talents. The pressure is on Red Bull to not just deliver results, but also to create an environment where their drivers can thrive. In the world of F1, hopes and tensions are building. As the Hungarian Grand Prix approaches, the question remains, will Verstappen stay with Red Bull, or is a major career move on the horizon? Stay tuned as this thrilling saga unfolds. The recent news of Christian Horner's dismissal from his role as CEO and team principal at Red Bull Racing has sent shockwaves through the Formula One community. For 2 decades, Horner led the team with a steady hand, but now it seems the end of an era has come unexpectedly. Sources reveal that Helmut Marko, the team's special advisor, was deeply involved in the circumstances surrounding Horner's exit. 9. Reports indicate that Marko was not just a bystander, but played a pivotal role in the discussions leading to Horner's sacking. A critical meeting took place on July 7th, where key figures, including Red Bull's head of sport Oliver Mintzlaff and team owners Chalerm Uvidia and Mark Mateschitz, gathered to address Horner's future. During this gathering, Mintzlaff conveyed the decision to part ways with Horner. While the announcement shocked many, it appears that the decision had been in the works for weeks. It's clear that beyond the surface, there were significant discussions regarding the direction of the team and Horner's suitability as the leader. The day after this crucial meeting, Horner was officially informed of his dismissal in a meeting that included Marko and Mintzlaff. This sequence of events raises questions about the dynamics within the team and the underlying tensions that may have led to such a dramatic shift in leadership. Understanding the reasons behind Horner's sacking prompts us to dig deeper. What led to Red Bull's decisive move? Parked amid this drama are unanswered questions about Horner's responsibilities and the expectations set before him. Insights from his last media session as the team principal may shed light on this tumultuous change and his thoughts in those final moments before his career at Red Bull shifted course. The departure of Horner marks a turning point for Red Bull Racing, with significant changes anticipated in the team's structure. As the F1 community watches closely, the question remains: how will this decision impact the team's performance going forward? In a fiercely competitive environment like F1, the leadership style and decisions made by key figures like Horner can dramatically shape the trajectory of a team. The question of whether Marko's strong influence during this transition will prove beneficial or detrimental for Red Bull remains to be seen. Stay tuned as we continue to follow this developing story and uncover more insights into the motivations and implications of Christian Horner's unexpected departure from Red Bull Racing. As we delve deeper into the aspects surrounding the recent shakeup at Red Bull Racing, we see a multitude of factors contributing to the turmoil. One of the standout issues is the team's struggle in the World Championship standings. Despite Max Verstappen's impressive skills, plight being in third place reflects a larger struggle. The RB21 car is almost unmanageable for drivers outside Verstappen. Consequently, Red Bull now sits fourth in the World Constructors' Championship, clearly not where they expected to be. The situation is undoubtedly frustrating for everyone involved, including Verstappen, who is locked into his contract until 2028, except if a performance clause is triggered. The mounting pressures intensified when allegations against the former team principal, Christian Horner, emerged, leading to an investigation. While he was cleared of any wrongdoing, this scrutiny, combined with tensions reportedly flaring between Horner and key figures like Helmut Marko, added to the team's mounting challenges. Tragedy further struck the team with the passing of founder Dietrich Mateschitz. The departure of several high-profile team members only added to the sense of instability. This included prominent figures like designer Adrian Newey and Chief Engineering Officer Rob Marshall. These losses have left Red Bull Racing in a precarious position during a critical phase. Looking ahead, rumors are swirling about Helmut Marko potentially stepping back, with four-time world champion Sebastian Vettel being discussed as a possible successor. Whether or not he will return to Red Bull in any capacity is still uncertain, but it signifies the seriousness of the ongoing changes within the organization. This shakeup sends a stark message to all team members, including young talent Yuki Tsunoda, who has been warned by Guenther Steiner that if a leader like Horner can be let go, no one is truly safe. As the dust settles on this dramatic shift within Red Bull Racing, a question looms. Is this the biggest shock in F1 history? Only time will tell how these decisions will influence the future of the team and its quest for championship glory. Stay informed as we monitor developments in this thrilling saga of Formula One racing. Lewis Hamilton's journey with Ferrari has certainly been noteworthy. As the 2025 Formula One season unfolds, Hamilton, who transitioned from Mercedes to the Scuderia at the start of the season, has shared candid thoughts about his experience so far. Following a challenging start to the year, Hamilton delivered his mid-season verdict, and it encapsulates both optimism and the desire for growth. While he feels he's performed decently, he acknowledges that there's room for improvement both for himself and the SF25. Before diving deeper, let's set the stage. Expectations were sky high when Hamilton joined Ferrari, a team that had shown promise the previous season by challenging for the Constructors' Championship. His arrival sparked a wave of excitement and belief among fans and team members alike, making everyone hopeful for fantastic results ahead. However, despite that buzz, Hamilton finds himself ranked 6th in the driver's standings with 103 points, closely trailing teammate Charles Leclerc. While he has consistently secured points in every race, excluding his disqualification in China, his journey hasn't been without its challenges. In the initial races of 2025, Hamilton often found himself navigating the lower end of the top 10. But things began to shift during the race in Imola, marking a turning point where he clinched his best finish of 4th place. He managed to replicate that result in both Austria and Britain, suggesting that perhaps the tide is turning for the veteran driver. But Hamilton's reflections don't stop there. He's taken some time to assess not just his performance, but the overall trajectory of his new team. After the British Grand Prix, he expressed that, despite facing some significant hurdles, there are positive signs of progress. He recognized that while the SF25 posed challenges, calling it unbelievably tricky to drive, he is not deterred. Hamilton confidently stated, "I'm not driving that terribly, but of course want to continue to improve." He remains focused on pushing his limits and enhancing his skills in a car that demands adaptability and finesse. Additionally, he noted improvements in qualifying, which could lead to better race outcomes down the line. As we move through the season, Hamilton's journey at Ferrari is one of resilience and optimism. While he has encountered setbacks, each race brings new opportunities for growth and triumph. Fans will undoubtedly be keeping a close eye on how Hamilton continues to evolve in the SF25, making it clear that there's still a long road ahead, full of potential and promise. Stay tuned as the 2025 season unfolds and we track Hamilton's progress and the challenges he faces as a key driver for one of the most storied teams in Formula One history. In a recent interview, Lewis Hamilton shared his hopes for improvements as he prepares for an intense 2-week break. The 7-time world champion expressed his desire for several changes, emphasizing the need for a consistent balance in the car, especially its performance at low speeds, and a more stable overall handling. Hamilton acknowledged that these requests are ambitious, but there's an air of confidence about the upgrades being implemented. Reflecting on the past weekend, he noted, "I think we were looking great through this weekend, despite facing challenges that prevented them from fully optimizing their performance during qualifying and the race. It's clear the driver is grappling with the challenges posed by the latest ground effect regulations. The SF25 has aspects that require fine-tuning to make it easier to manage." And he also underlined the importance of enhancing his own adaptability to the car. Looking ahead to the upcoming F1 2026 season, Hamilton shared his intention to collaborate with Ferrari in discussions about improving the car's performance in wet conditions. He recognized that some features of the SF25 may not carry over to next year's model, yet he was positive about the value of data collected this season that sheds light on the car's weaknesses in rain. While Hamilton would have preferred to snag a podium finish or a win at Silverstone, he remains hopeful for future successes. In 2025, hope for the future has been tough to come by, and that's a win in and of itself, he quipped, showcasing his resilience despite the hurdles. Finally, Hamilton has described the Ferrari SF25 as the most difficult car in wet conditions he's ever experienced. However, he's confident that he knows how to correct its course, setting the stage for potential breakthroughs to come. As the season progresses, All eyes will be on Hamilton as he tackles the challenges presented by the SF25 while aiming for that elusive podium and further enhancing his legacy in Formula One. Felipe Massa is making headlines again, this time as he revives memories of the 2008 Formula One season during a nostalgic event at the Goodwood Festival of Speed. Just recently reunited with his Ferrari F2008, Massa reflected on a year that remains iconic in his career, remarking that it was Ferrari's last championship and also mine. During his time at Goodwood, he took the F2008 up the hill climb, re-immersing himself in the exhilarating thrill of driving a car that had propelled him to significant achievements. It's hard not to capture the emotions associated with an era when Massa and teammate Kimi Räikkönen clinched the Constructors' title, thwarting McLaren's ambitions. But the 2008 season is also etched in Massa's memory for a bittersweet reason. He narrowly missed out on the world title, falling just 1 point short of victory against Lewis Hamilton at the season finale. It was a tense race that had Massa crowned world champion for a fleeting 28 seconds before the final results were decided. As he gears up for a court case that could change the narrative of that year, Massa's story has taken an intriguing turn. The legality of the world title remains unresolved, and the UK's High Court is set to hear the case this October. During an interview at Goodwood, Massa couldn't hold back his playful remarks, expressing the mixed feelings of reliving that pivotal moment in his career. "It's just an amazing feeling to drive the 2008 car after a long time. This was definitely my best year," he said with a tone of nostalgia. Reflecting on the achievements during that season, he mentioned, "A car that we managed to win 5 times. Yet amidst the joy, he reminded us with a cheeky smile, it was the last Constructors' Championship of Ferrari. Also mine, I would say." Massa's enthusiasm shone through as he shared stories of the Goodwood experience, surrounded by fans and fellow enthusiasts. "It's just an amazing moment to be here," he said, encapsulating the joy of participating in such a spirited gathering. With his comments, it's clear that the memory of that year, while tinged with regret, has not dimmed for him. It remains a vital part of his racing legacy. As the court case looms, many will be watching how this chapter unfolds for Massa, a journey filled with nostalgia, passion, and hope for recognition as the rightful 2008 world champion. Felipe Massa has taken a bold step by launching legal action against Formula One management, the FIA, and former F1 Supremo Bernie Ecclestone. The heart of this legal battle revolves around the controversial events of the 2008 Singapore Grand Prix and its implications for Massa's World Championship title. Massa's challenge is centered on the infamous Crashgate scandal, wherein Nelson Piquet Jr. was instructed by his team, Renault, to deliberately crash. This shocking move was intended to trigger a safety car period that would favor his teammate, Fernando Alonso. The ensuing chaos played a pivotal role in Massa's championship hopes, as he experienced a disastrous pit stop that relegated him from a strong lead and ultimately out of the points. Although the ramifications of this scandal only surfaced a year later, Bernie Ecclestone shed light on it in 2023, revealing that he and then FIA President Max Mosley were aware of the truth during the race. He stated that, according to official rules, the Singapore race should have been cancelled under the circumstances present that day. This admission has become a crucial element in Massa's case. Ecclestone reflected, "That means it would never have happened for the World Championship standings. Then, Felipe Massa would have become world champion and not Lewis Hamilton." This statement adds weight to Massa's claims, as he seeks not only financial compensation, but also formal acknowledgement of his status as the rightful 2008 world champion. As Massa prepares for trial, the date has a unique significance. It coincides with the 95th birthday of Bernie Ecclestone, making it a historical moment that ties the past and present of Formula One racing together. Massa's journey continues to captivate fans, not just for the potential legal outcomes, but for its emotional weight as he strives for recognition. Whether or not the court sees it in his favor remains to be seen, but it's clear that this case may reshape the narrative of a pivotal moment in F1 history. Stay tuned as we witness how this story unfolds, echoing the sentiments of legacy, justice, and the fierce pursuit of victory.